Шановні колеги, ми
Dear colleagues, we continue our working day. Now the floor is given to Ministry of Defense spokesman on EGO-related issues, Colonel Andriy Lysenko. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Now the information about the events that happened in the EGO area during the last 24 hours and about training and help of Ukrainian armed forces to peaceful population. In the Lugansk area, military actions were in Stanitsa Luganska, Slavyano-Serbsk, and Popasnyansky region. Half of shellings delivered by the enemy was with the use of heavy weapons. Armed incidents were short-term, except the last one, the shelling in Stanitsa Luganska. It lasted for 2 hours. And on the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Lugansk area, there were 6 enemy shellings. The Donetsk area, 2 heavy shellings were in Avdiivka production area. That happened in the early morning and in the evening. And in the course of shelling, the enemy actively used mortars. At our positions, the enemy launched 34 mines. Also, the enemy violated ceasefire in adjacent positions. There's Kamenka and Opetna. And in Svetlodarska Balcha near Gorlovka, it was calm. And on the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Donetsk area, there were 4 enemy shellings, including 2 with the use of heavy weapons. In the Mariupol area, the situation remains the same. The enemy shelling with the use of heavy weapons, mortars, tanks, in Mariinsky region and near Azov-Sea. And at our positions, the enemy launched 37 mortar mines and 5 tank shells. And the biggest number of enemy shelling was in Shirokino. And enemy snipers are active, and Russian commanders sent to Donbas special instructors in order to train the militants. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Mariupol area, there were 21 enemy shelling, including 5 with the use of heavy weapons. During the last 24 hours, in the result of the military actions, 1 Ukrainian serviceman was killed, 2 were wounded. We express condolences to the relatives of the servicemen who died defending Ukraine. According to the information provided by intelligence service, the commanders of so-called Second Army Corps of Russian occupation forces, by forces of 2 companies of so-called 7th Brigade, they disarmed the detachment of occupation police in Alchevsko-Hanevsky, that came out of control of Palatnitsky, his proxies and curators. In Liman, law enforcers detained former militant. In April 2014, the man was inspired by the ideas of Russian world, and he joined the ranks of the militants. He wanted to earn a lot of money, but with the start of active military actions, he fled the native town and was hiding for a long time. In Dnipro, recruits of National Guard had some firing training. At firing ground, they underwent a course for new recruits that included theoretical and practical tasks. And they will have some firing exercises and driving lessons. And Armed Forces of Ukraine help to restore infrastructure of Donbas. Among the most important projects in which Ukrainian servicemen help are groups of civil and military cooperation. They help to restore gas supply pipeline that is 3 kilometers, and also doubling in Mariinka, and doubling of electric network in Krasnogorovka, and networks electric supply in Mariinka, Mykolaiv. And sometimes they stop their work because of the shelling delivered by the enemy. And this week they failed to repair the water supply pipeline in Toretsk because of a threat of enemy provocations. And yesterday, Ukrainian sappers successfully demined the territory, and repair brigade started their work, and the water supply will be restored in 2 days. Also, the military repair kindergartens, houses in the villages and in Kamenska, Berdyan, Sopina, Troitsky, and Trykizbenka. Also, during the last 10 months, servicemen of the Group of Civil and Military Cooperation helped to bring 2,200 tons of humanitarian help to residents of frontline territories. Yesterday, Ukrainian border guards documented the transportation of humanitarian help. These are 16 tons of humanitarian help provided by a charitable organization that went through Novotroitsk checkpoint. These are goods for the residents of occupied territories.
Channel 5, please clarify, is the information where the Ukrainian serviceman was killed and where the servicemen were wounded during the shellings? Two servicemen received wounds near Novozvanivka and Kamenka. That is where we have one person perished. Could you confirm the information that next to Avdiivka one civilian man was wounded? Such information does not come to our records. If we witness such events, we submit such data to Military Civilian Administration. Radio Liberty, the Zerkalo Tyzhnya published the information that the Ministry of Defense of Russia threatens to do the airstrike if Ukraine has trainings in Crimea. What is the reaction of Ukraine to such threats? All the military trainings and tests are taking place according to the plans because Ukraine is an independent state. Everything that concerns international agreements and warnings, Ukraine is executing in accordance with these norms, and everything that is planned will be implemented. Talking about threats and other things, this will not be an obstacle to our plans, to the plans of the armed forces of Ukraine to clarify it. What will be the actions if Russia starts downing the missiles? Which missiles are you talking about? The Ministry of Defense warned that they will launch mines at Ukrainian territory. We have in the territory where we conduct all our trainings. No one will tell us what will tell us or order to us what we shall do. Any other questions? If not, then we will finish.